Good morning, everybody. Dave in Kentucky here for another shave. We've got some coffee to slurp on, and we're going to try to be a little bit of an instructional video. I don't feel like I'm the right person for that, not because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not a very good teacher or instructor. But anyway, had a member reach out to me, Sean. I'm sorry I forget your last name, but thank you for all the new subscribers. I saw that went up recently, apparently, and Sean had subscribed. He is a straight razor shaver, but he had a question about finding the right angle for a DE razor, so I don't know if I'll be much help with that. We'll see. Let's go ahead and hit what we're going to be using today, and I'm kind of, as I was picking things out, it ended up being a Kentucky themed shave, so going with Sir Henry's Kentucky Rain, which is a rose, bourbon, and leather scent. And Sir Henry's doesn't get enough attention. There are so many artisans out there now. A tremendous base and value for the money. And this is just a killer scent for me. And it seems to last forever. I've used this a lot, and I've barely got the top of this over 7 ounce tub. A dent in it, because it doesn't take much, as you'll see. So anyway, that's Kentucky Rain. They're out of Missouri, I think. I could be wrong, but anyway, it's Kentucky themed. This is Knothead Brushworks brush that was turned for me by Tim, who's no longer in business. I have a Timberwolf knot in it, and he named this the Kentuckian. So there's the Kentucky there. We're going to top things off with Rooster's Nest Bourbon Bay Rum. Can't speak yet, it's early. Handmade Bay Rum, Bourbon, and Manliness. I don't know how you package manliness, but it's in there apparently. They're out of Lexington, Kentucky, barbershop, and they make a great Bourbon Bay Rum. Razor we're using today is a Weber polished head from back in the day. I don't know if you can see underneath. Probably won't be able to make it out. Made in USA, Weber. Anyways, there's polished head. They're known to be a little more aggressive, and I think that's something that might help Sean out. I have a Tibam titanium handle set up with that, and a Wizamet blade. Another thing I think that could help Sean. I'm thinking he's a straight razor shaver. Let me go ahead and get my face wet and start to get some soap lathered. What I started to say is Sean is a straight razor shaver. And so I don't think he's oblivious to shave angle and so forth. Not without being a Scarface, right? Anyway. I'm not going to get into, some people, I don't think Sean is, I don't know, but some people think, oh, you have to use a straight razor, it's the only way. It's the closest shave. It's the closest shave if you get that technique down pat. It may be closer. To me, you have extremely sharp blade, whether it's a straight razor or a double edge razor or a single edge razor. If you get the right razor holding that, enough blade exposure, and that sharp blade is against your skin, you can only get the haircut to the same level. So I've done straight razor shaves. I never could get the knack of honing it, which he clearly has, with a quick view of his channel. Let me get this tub dried off. And we'll set that aside. Okay, so he clearly has gotten it, and I never could get the hang of it, and maintaining the edge. I also have some strikes from my learning curve with them. I keep a vintage Weck razor, a couple of them actually. Not only a Weck, what's the other one I have over here? It's an old Hofritz And so I'll use that from time to time. I usually do it on video. It's when I just want to be mindful and focused on my shave. I do have wax as well as some straights. But if I get the itch, I'll grab one. It's not often. I get a plenty close shave, enough BBS with the DE. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you, you put it against your head and you turn it down till you find the blade. If you have a milder razor, which I think he had a Merkur 34C, a lot of people have used that, the Edwin Jagger DE89. They're mild shavers. If you get something that's got a little more blade exposure, you're going to feel it better. Being a straight razor shaver, Sean, I think that you're going to be able to manage that well. So I don't really put it on my head and then turn it. It's like straight razor shaving or anything else. Once you get a feel for it, it just becomes intuitive. And I shave every day. I'm at, I think, getting close to 6 years without missing a shave. And so I shave every day, which is more of a test on a razor to get a close shave than if you let a few days go by. We all know what that feels like when you let 2 or 3 days go by and then you shave. It feels so much closer and better. But anyway, after a while, it becomes intuitive. What I was getting to, everyday shaver, and I like variety. I have a couple hundred DE razors, modern, antique, vintage collection. And for the most part, use a different one every day. So the characteristics of each one is going to be different. And so you would think I'd have to, put that against my head and then turn it until I feel the blade and then start. But, like with a straight razor shave, I was going to say, blade, you have the general angle, but then when you get a feel for where your sweet spot is, and you're going to do that with a razor once you get enough experience. So, like I said, I'm not a great teacher. I can tell you basically that's it in a nutshell. Other than that, I think it's having a razor with a little more exposure. I don't want to say aggressive or effective, but has a little more blade exposure so you can actually feel that, just like you do with your straight razor. Also having a sharper blade, and I can tell you what my favorite is, but I think blades are one of the most subjective thing to beard type and face, skin, and so there's such a wide variety. What works for one person doesn't for someone else. I will say, Sean, if I'll stick my email in my description down below, and if you want to hit me up with your shipping information, I will send you a tuck of Wizamet blades to try those, and maybe another tuck of something else or whatever. But I think he had a Dorco and a Astra SP. I don't think they're the sharpest things out there. They're popular, but not the sharpest DE blades. So a razor with a little more blade exposure, a sharper blade, and I think you'll get better results. The other thing with DE shaving is pressure. Everyone tells you no pressure, no pressure. When you think you're not using pressure, back off a little more. If you just sit there and then just drag it, and you're holding this thing lightly and just drag it, you have to have a little pressure holding it to contact your skin. It's very, very light, but it's no different than a straight razor, which you have to have against the skin as it comes down and contacts the hair. You don't want to be pushing it into you, but you're holding it against your face to make contact. And again, I chose this razor. No, I don't know if I mentioned the Kentucky connection with this razor. I don't know where it was produced at, but this came from a friend on the forum that lives in the, I think, Georgetown, Kentucky area. They gifted it to me. It's a little bit more aggressive of a razor than he cared for. So that's why I chose this one. More blade exposure, you feel it. And there's no way for me to describe that to you, just like you can't describe, or maybe you can, a straight razor shave and what it's like when you feel the blade or whatever. But when you have more exposure on a DE razor and you can feel it, especially for like one of the most aggressive ones out there, I would say one of is the big gap that you see on the Sterling razors. You get to feel the blade contact the skin. And get a closer shave. And once you have the technique down, you get a feel for that. Even without feeling the blade, you can use a milder razor like a Tech and still get a good shave. Not as close, probably. So, Sean, again, if that's not helpful enough for you, I apologize. I've never claimed to be a great instructor. Just been at this a long time, and I think I found the horrendous Badger and Blade forum many years ago, 06, 07, something like that. That's when I started my journey with this stuff. Little witch hazel. And it's just something that's become second nature to me, and so I'm not the best at, like I said, teaching. I hope some of those tips help, and if you reach out to me, like I said, I'll get some blades to you. I think you need a, I mean, I saw you shaving, and you've got it down. Skin stretching, just like in straight razors. Perhaps a more aggressive razor and sharper, definitely sharper blades, and finding one that works for you, whether it's in the set, Nasset or Wizamet or Permasharp or one of the Gillette Platinums, and they keep changing names of those and things, so I don't know which one's current. Anyway, something like that that's on the sharper spectrum of the sharpness scale. But that's it. Shout out to TC that gifted me this razor head with a handle. I just put this handle on it. I preferred it. Georgetown, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, Kentucky Rain, and the Kentuckian brush with a Timberwolf knot. That's all I've got. Again, I do appreciate those that take the time to watch. I know time's valuable. We all have less and less, it seems, as life goes by and things get more hectic. But thanks for joining me for a shave. Be kind, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the forum.